Today I'm going to tell you how I live a life of zero regrets, how I can move forward and not let the past hold me back. I'm going to tell you about concepts that I've researched myself, put into practice until I found the right things that have worked for me, and I hope they can work for you. Today I'm going to give you 3 tools that really helped me along this process and allowed me to live a life with no regrets. So the first thing for me was to accept that once something's happened in the past, I cannot control it. It's done, it's happened, so I've got to let it go. So it's all about, for me, working out what can I control and what can't I control. When it's happened, there's nothing I can do. I can only live in this moment right now. So for me to worry about it, when you actually think about it logically, is quite ridiculous because it's gone and there's nothing we can do to get it back. Let me give you an example where I play poker. If I make a massive bluff on the river for a huge amount of money and it's a huge mistake, my opponent calls me, I lose that money, it's gone. I have to now just move on and play the next hand and carry on. If I let that affect me, it's going to affect the next decision that I make and then have an even more negative impact on my life. So it's all about just accepting that that has gone, it's in the past. To worry about that isn't going to benefit me, and it's all about doing what's best for us and what's going to give us the best chance to improve ourselves and enjoy our lives, right? The second concept that I've realized is that mistakes make us stronger. When we get things wrong, these things actually build our character. It's sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Think of a time in your life where things haven't worked out, you've been through a really difficult patch, it might have been horrible, but that makes you a better person in the long run. If you can withstand that kind of difficulty and challenge, that means that once you can get through that and come out the other side and you can handle it, then you are a strong person. You should be proud of going through that process and being able to come out the other side. I've had things that have really challenged and tested me, and at the time I absolutely hated them, but I'm now the person I am today because of those. They've made me stronger, they've made me more resilient, and now I can move into things and think I can handle that. I've been there before, it's all experience and it boosts your confidence. So we can learn from that. So now we can view mistakes and things that have happened in the past as actually something that can boost us into the future and know that they've built us and made us the person that we are today. Sometimes I have made the same mistake several times over and over and over until I've learned from it. One example I can give with this is drinking. I enjoy a social night out. I like to have a beer or two. Sometimes a shot gets thrown in. Crazy stuff happens. There's a few Jaeger bombs. The next day I feel horrendous. And for me, anyone that knows me knows I'm awful on a hangover. And I think this took me probably about 12 years or so, maybe a bit longer, to realise that if I actually carry on drinking, the next day I'm going to feel terrible. And so it's taken me a long time to learn that. I used to think, how can I feel better the next day? How can I avoid the hangover? Perhaps don't drink so much, you absolute prat. When I understood that, now I appreciate, I actually like hangovers because they tell me that stop being an idiot and drinking so much. And now when I go out, I try and monitor it as much as I can if I'm able to, and that can make me feel better. So when we're able to learn from mistakes, all of a sudden the mistake now becomes part of something better. So it can help us move forward. So even the mistake isn't perhaps something bad. We've just worked out one thing that doesn't work or one thing we shouldn't do. And so if we can learn from that, we'll know next time we won't do that. We won't go into that interaction. We won't make that mistake. We'll use a different approach or try something new. And sometimes you'll have to go through several mistakes until you find the right thing. Take any entrepreneur. I don't know many people, or haven't heard of many people, that have started a business that's just run off and been a great success. A lot of the time, they may have several businesses that go broke before they finally find out what works. So all of those mistakes, they're just all things that you need to go through. It's a process to just get to where you want. So when we look at it like this, and we're happy to make mistakes and get things wrong, now we can just keep moving forward. When we can accept that the past is gone, we can't control that, focus on what we've got right in front of us, then we can realise that the mistakes build us and make us who we are, that they're stepping stones to get where we want to get to, and when we can learn from them, now we're in a position of power. Now we can do some really cool things. Now we can take steps forward to where we want to get to every time, knowing that each time you get something wrong, you found out another way that doesn't work, so you won't do it. So you'll always be moving forward, and this gives us momentum, and momentum can make amazing things happen. So I hope this video has been of benefit to you. If you've enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you soon, and as always, big love.